I've had many experiences where God has answered my prayer. The one I'd like to share was something that came out of the 10 days of prayer that we had last January. And during that time, we were asked to pray for people that we would like to see give their hearts to Jesus. And so I had a couple names on my list, but I was praying for my niece because she had wandered away from God, and I wanted God to do something special in her life. And so I prayed for her through that week earnestly, and then about a month after that, I got a phone call from her, and she said, "Auntie, I am going to be rebaptized." And that, as I was talking to her, tears was just running down my eyes because I couldn't believe that God had answered that prayer so quickly. And it just kind of boosted my prayer life throughout the rest of the year. And I've seen so many answers to prayer, and I just want to encourage everyone to talk to God, whatever the circumstances are. You know that He hears and He understands. And so that's my story.
Two disciples asked their master, what was the difference between knowledge and wisdom? The master said to them, "Early tomorrow morning, place inside your shoes 20 beans, 10 in each shoe. Then climb the mountain that stands by the village to the highest point with the beans still inside your shoes." The next day, the young disciples began to climb the mountain. Halfway through, one of them was suffering a great deal. His feet were sore and he complained immensely. On the other hand, his friend kept climbing steadily up the mountain. When they reached the top, one had a countenance marked by pain, while the other was smiling. So the one who suffered the most during the ascent asked his companion, "How did you accomplish this task with joy, while for me, it was a real torture?" The companion replied, "My dear friend, last night I cooked the 20 beans." Knowledge is information about things, facts, processes, including technical skills. Wisdom, on the other hand, is an art and a virtue, which consists of making good use of that knowledge in order to promote justice and well-being to benefit the greatest number of people. We can find people who do not have much knowledge or education, yet have great clarity of mind in the way they conduct themselves and communicate. Much more, in fact, than individuals who seem to have knowledge but lack wisdom. About 30 centuries ago, a young man faced a difficult choice. It was as if there were in a store full of possibilities where he could find anything he wanted. All riches to his heart's desire were at his disposal. Power beyond what most of us can even dream of. Recognition, respect, praise. He could have it all. But he could only make one choice. He could only take one single item from that store. Despite being young, I believe he made the right choice. The Bible describes this situation as follows. That night the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream and said, "Ask for whatever you want me to give you." 1 Kings 3 verse 5. Solomon had a blank check from the bank account of heaven, and this is how he filled out that check. He replied, "You have shown great kindness to your servant my father David, because he was faithful to you and righteous and upright in heart. You have continued this great kindness to him and have given him a son to sit on his throne this very day. Now, Lord my God, you have made your servant king in place of my father David, but I am only a little child and do not know how to carry out my duties. Your servant is here among the people you have chosen, a great people, too numerous to count or number. So give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people and to distinguish between right and wrong. For who is able to govern this great people of yours?" He chose wisdom, and God was pleased with his choice. The Lord was pleased as Solomon had asked for this. So God said to him, "Since you have asked for this and not for long life or wealth for yourself, nor have you asked for the death of your enemies, but for discernment in administering justice, I will do what you have asked. I will give you a wise and discerning heart, so that there will never have been anyone like you, nor will there ever be. Moreover, I will give you what you have not asked for both wealth and honor, so that in your lifetime you will have no equal among kings. And if you walk in obedience to me and keep my decrees and commands, as David your father did, I will give you a long life. What have you asked from God? What have you pursued or chased? Learn to recognize the true treasures that God may grant you and ask for those gifts. Have you ever prayed for wisdom? Have you ever sought insight from heaven? Then pray for wisdom now. But by making this prayer, remember that prayer is the key in the hands of faith to unlock heaven's storehouse, where are treasured the boundless resources of omnipotence.